Okay, hello everybody. Today I'm going to deal with concession links, which is a vocabulary lesson. Now, when we talk about concession links, we mean in spite of, despite, although, even though, and though. Of course, these are the same. Now, first of all, let's talk about the usage. Concession links are used to show a contrast, a paradox, but there are differences in the structures used with. Now, for example, let's start with the first. In spite of. Let's look at this sentence. Now, in spite of, Sarah is intelligent, but she got a terrible mark. Sarah is intelligent, but she got a terrible mark. Now, if we want to use in spite of in this sentence, we have three possibilities. Let's see the first. We can say, in spite of her intelligence, Sarah got a bad mark. In spite of her intelligence, Sarah got a bad mark. Now here we have used the noun of intelligent, of the adjective intelligent. So, in spite of plus noun. Let's see the second possibility. In spite of being intelligent, Sarah got a terrible mark or a bad mark. Okay? So here we have used again in spite of plus ing form, that is to say, gerund. Look at the third possibility. Now here, in spite of the fact that Sarah is intelligent, she got a terrible mark. So here, as you can see, we have three possibilities. The fact that. Now the structure, as I have just mentioned, we have, of course, in spite of plus noun, in spite of plus gerund, or in spite of plus that. Now let's look at more examples. Now, here, look at this sentence. Mary is beautiful. She's not married. So, in spite of being beautiful, Mary is not married. So, as we have mentioned earlier, we have used here ing form. We have another possibility. In spite of her beauty, Mary is not married. Noun. Or, Mary is not married, in spite of the fact that she's beautiful. Now, let's see the other concession link, despite. So in terms of meaning, in spite of, despite, and although or even though, they are the same. But the difference or the differences, of course, are in terms of their structure or the form. Now look at this sentence. Steve is wealthy. He doesn't help the poor. So you can see that there is a kind of a contrast. He is wealthy. He does not help the poor normally. A person who is wealthy, he should help the poor. This is part of good, it's a value. Despite his wealth, Steve does not help the poor. despite his wealth. So here, wealth is the noun of wealthy, right? So despite plus noun. Or we have another possibility. Despite the fact that Steve is wealthy, he does not help the poor. Despite the fact. So as you can see, the fact plus subject plus verb plus object, that is SVO structure. Now the form, of course, as I have said, despite plus noun or despite plus the fact that. Now more examples. Despite his anger, my teacher is a kind-hearted person. Okay? Despite his anger, my teacher is a kind-hearted person. David passed all his exams despite the fact that he never studied. Right? Here, there is a contrast. David passed all his exams. He passed all his exams, although despite the fact that he never studied. Look at this one. Despite the rainy weather, we played the football match. Despite the rainy weather, we played the football match. Now, the third one, although, even though, right? So, the three items here, they are exactly the same, right? The first one, although, of course, is more formal than though. For example, look at this example. Brahim was very ill. He went to work. We can say, although Brahim was very ill, he went to work. So we have just put although in the beginning of the sentence. We can say also, though Brahim was very ill, he went to work. Or, Brahim went to work even though he was ill, right? Now the structure, although or even though plus subject plus verb. Although or even though plus subject plus verb, right? Now let's move to practice. I want you to complete the sentences with although, in spite of, or despite. It rained a lot. We enjoyed our holiday. It rained a lot. We enjoyed our holiday. Sentence number 2. All our careful plans, a lot of things went wrong. All our careful plans, a lot of things went wrong. Sentence number 3. Planning everything carefully, a lot of things went wrong. The same sentence, but I have changed, of course, the form of the verb here. Plan, planning. Sentence number 4. I went home early. The party was great. I went home early. The party was great. Sentence number 7. She accepted the job. The salary was rather low. She accepted the job. The salary was low. Next sentence, please. I managed to get to sleep. There was a lot of noise. I managed to get to sleep. there was a lot of noise. So please try to look at every sentence very carefully and keep in mind the usage and the form of every linker, every linking word, and put it in the appropriate sentence. Right? Thank you very much for your attention and see you next time.